when I answer the phone, I have excellent phone manners, okay? And it's like a lost skill, okay? But people will hear me answer the phone and they'll look at me like, holy crap. Like, why do you do that? And my mother always used to say, you never know what you're calling into, and you never know what is calling you. And I kind of live by that. I don't know what anyone else is going through, and I don't presume to. And I try to keep that in mind.
Every little kid is taught that they shouldn't talk to strangers. I mean, do you talk to strangers? How do you know if a stranger is worth speaking to? Hey kid, don't talk to strangers. Where's my daughter at? I'm gonna go get my daughter in here in a minute and tell her she's 3 weeks old, but she needs to know this.
Life, literally just existence. Literally, like, that's not a joke. I literally do not understand. Like, we all as a society have agreed everybody gets up in the morning and they do certain things and they act a certain way, and I just don't get it. I'm like, why have we all agreed upon this? Why can't I just stay at home, play video games in my underwear, and have that be a socially acceptable thing to do? So the point of living, I think, is probably to experience and give and receive as much love as possible for your being. And it might not be very much for some, and it might be way too much for others, but I think that's kind of the whole point, is just to do it as much as you can. It's the only thing that binds us all together. It's the only thing that every human being at some level has experienced, whether it's taken its shape in the form of hatred or it's taken its shape in the form of loving a romantic partner or loving a child or loving a friend. Every single human being has loved something or someone. And I think it's important because it's the only thing that we all can agree on. Like, it is a good idea to love someone at some point, sometime, somewhere in your life. I was a college dropout. Yeah, I dropped out. I dropped out to travel across the country. Ran away with my ex-girlfriend, actually. And my parents were like, hey, we're moving. And I was like, cool. I'm not going back to college, so I'm going to go with you because I have nothing else to do. And living on Long Island, it's practically impossible to live by yourself when you make no money. But to do it on Long Island is even... When I was looking for a job, I just was like, this is a city. I will have much better luck in a city than trying to search all over small towns and blips and blops over on the other side of the river. So something about being over here, I was like, I kind of like it. I think I'll go work over there. So started my job search here, and aside from providing affordable goods,
That's important.
I mean, we have some amazingly nice things, and we have people that come in here and they're like, oh my god, this is how much? That's it? Give that to me, I need that. And I'm always so thrilled when people get excited, because I love seeing passion in other people. I just think that that's so beautiful and raw. I mean, we have regulars that come in, and I don't know exactly what it is that they're looking for. Maybe they're looking for the recognition. Maybe they're looking for a part of their routine that is just, they've always done it, and so they just keep doing it. Or maybe they're looking for things that are free and they actually want the things that are on the free rack. I don't know, but it provides a center. I did not feel like living up here was home until I found this place. Home is the place that satiates the deep ache when you are longing for something. When you are longing for that sense of belonging, it satiates that. And you go there and you know that you will find love.
While making my way towards 7th Street today, to attend this march, I was trying to figure out which aspect of human rights was the most important to focus on. And after several moments of thinking, I realized that every aspect is important for us to focus on because we're not going to compromise anything anymore for anybody.
Women have just finally had enough, and we're like, can you not? Like, we've all just, I looked at my friends and they looked at me and we were like, do you want to call this shit out? Like, should we keep building upon the past generations? Hi, Tarina. Should we keep building upon the past generations' fights and just keep making it a little bit better and a little bit better? We were all like, yes, let's do that. That's a great idea.
Have you experienced that?
What, sexism? Yes. What kind of question is that?
Every woman deserves to be heard whatever side you're on. Hillary Clinton said that the women who make allegations deserve to be heard, except the ones who accuse her husband. Those she attacks, those she threatens. She threatens those people. No.
We unfortunately live in the kind of world where when I meet a woman, I actually assume that she has experienced some sort of sexual assault or sexual misconduct or harassment.
Well, that's fair for what you just said, but he is a billionaire. And if there's any way a woman is going to get money, I mean, you look at the NFL players, you look at the college players that are going to be an NFL player. Women, I know, women are going to be sometimes looking for an easy way to make money.
Like, that's an unfortunate world that we live in, that I genuinely assume that there is not a single woman on this planet that cannot relate to it in some way, shape, or form. Which I think is really sad.
Does Christianity say you can't have a female president?
It doesn't say. I just don't believe it should be women leaders.
You think women should be more in the complementary role?
Yes, I do. I believe women should, stand back from things like this, especially from the White House, and to be speakers like this.
Because we've had some pretty awful presidents, and they've all been men.
Well, that's true.
What we've seen, what this administration has woken up in this country and around the world is the women's vote. And we saw that in the 2017 cycle. It was the women's vote that changed the outcomes of most of those elections. And not the least of which, the black woman's vote.
Take a look at the inner cities. You get no education, you get no jobs, you get shot walking down the street. I say to the African American people that have to suffer in these inner cities, what do you have to lose? I'm going to fix it.
Well, it's like, if you live in an all-white town, I grew up in an all-white town.
Right.
And there were maybe, like, in a graduating class of 150, there were maybe 10 people of color. And so those people were not segregated off into like a different little, they were just part of the community. So in my little sheltered world, there was no racism. But as far as I could see, but I'm white. It never happened to me. It was not something I experienced. So in my little world, it doesn't exist.
Their descendants, the descendants of those slaves, have much better lives here than the descendants of people who would have never gotten on those slave boats in Africa. And that's a provable fact, because we have given them all those freedoms.
And then I got a little bit more educated and saw a little bit more of the world, and I went to New Mexico, and I was the only white person in Walmart. And I was like, holy shit. It doesn't matter if no one is harassing me, or if nobody is giving me any shit, or if no one's hating me right now. Like, this is just a different experience. Like, this is what it must feel like all the time to be a person of color.
Talk to this fucking nigger right now. I am telling you, he's video recorded me. He scared the shit out of Anthony. He started in the car. He wanted to run his mouth talking about BB and the trashy mother. Fucking say something to him now. He's got me on videotape, and I'm still flipping the fuck out.
You called me a nigger. Go ahead.
I called you a nigger. You're a nigger. Nasty fucking nigger.
Okay.
The human race, as much as I love it, is very self-centered. And even the most giving, generous people are still self-centered. Because you only can know what you know. And you can only... Things don't click, necessarily, if you don't experience them. So you could see them happening, but you can justify excuses as long as it's kind of at arm's length. It's not until it hits you that you can kind of really say, oh, That's real. So if it stays, it doesn't matter if you see it on TV. That's not hitting home. That's not near you. It doesn't have to be real if you don't want it to be.
I don't know what you think you're videoing, lady. I don't know what you think you're videoing. I was just discriminated against by 2 black women. Yes, I was. And you being a white woman, you literally thinking that that's okay. You standing there with your baby thinking that's okay. I don't know what you're videoing. But your child is stealing.
She's not.
Yeah, I don't think you paid for that.
I don't think I can explain to you what it is. I think I could tell you what it's not. It is not your right to do whatever the hell you want to. And it is not your right to say, I am more important than you.
And then you said, ma'am, we're all human. You're not going to give me some sort of liberal lecture about who's a human. Your job is to ring people up and tell them to have a nice day.
It is just leaving everyone else alone and letting them do what they will, so long as it does not negatively affect or is not a detriment to the rest of society or directly hurting somebody else.
And I voted for Trump, so there. What, you want to kick me out because of that? And look who won, and look who won, and look who won.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Complicated business. Complicated.
I don't agree with like 99% of his existence. His existence, not just his political leadership, just his existence.
To agree with his breathing.
But that being said, I do think that he must have some certain amount of intelligence to have amassed the wealth. Yes, he already had it, but he did something. It's not like he just jellyfished on the floor for several hours and just amoeba'd some wealth. Like, he had to do something with that money to make more money. And he had to surround himself with people who knew how to get him where he is. And sometimes intelligence is not having the answers, but knowing who does and how to surround yourself with them. So I do think there is something to be said about the fact that he was like, I see that wave and I'm going to ride it.
If Jesus Christ gets down off the cross and told me Trump is with Russia, I would tell him, hold on a second, I need to check with the president if it's true.
Why do you believe Donald Trump over everybody else? Why?
I believe in him. He's a good man. He has taken so much shots for us.
Why do you think he's more trustworthy than
It's based on everything he's been doing.
Truthfully, I see they were people who wanted something different. And, I mean, he was not in politics. He had a different agenda. He was different. He was something new and just not a repeat of what we've been doing.
I pledge to every citizen of our land that I will be president for all Americans. And this is so important to me.
Baseball, apple pie, and explosions. Those are all, that's what it means to be American. And hot dogs, of course. I would like it to mean unconditionally supportive of those around us. But at the same time, ensuring we are well taken care of. Because I understand that I can't help you if I can't help me. If I'm not in a place to help you, so I gotta take care of me first, and then I can help you, and that's cool. But sometimes it looks selfish if I take care of me first, but it's not like that. It's not like that at all. It's just I need to take care of me, and I would like that to be American, would be help us, take care of us, and then give the hand where we can, as much as we can.
Welcome to Modern Day Manners for Adults. For today's lesson, we will be discussing technology etiquette. Etiquette lesson number 26. While visiting the doctor, be sure to frequently interrupt the diagnosis with information you've read on various medical websites. Etiquette lesson number 27. After illegally downloading a movie, always make sure to go to their official Facebook page and leave a nice comment. Etiquette lesson number 28. Showing someone something amazing on your phone? Take as long as possible to find it. The longer they wait, the more amazing their reaction will be when they finally see it.
Yesterday, my mom called me for something and my phone was off and I was asleep because I had the day off. My father bursts into my room and he's like, Your mother's on the phone. Here. Gives me her phone. His phone. I talked to my mother. I'm asleep. I don't remember much of this, but I do remember my father picking up my phone going, why is it dead? And I was like, I turned it off. And he goes, why did you turn it off? And I said, well, sometimes I just like to have the phone off. I want to be disconnected from it, you know? And it was such a panic. We were always so connected and always on. There's no chance to refresh. There's no chance to clear the cache of your human brain, just your cell phone brain. If you're handed a dictionary and you're told, like, pick the next word that you're going to use, how do you pick? Do you read every single word in the dictionary and then pick one based on your logical? Or do you just, like, open it up and just be like, that one? That's the word I'm going to use. But it could be xylophone. Like, xylophone's not relevant to our conversation right now. Why am I going to use the word xylophone in this conversation? So we get to this point where it's like everything is kind of chosen for us by an algorithm, and it's all to you it seems random, but it's chosen by somebody else, which freaks me out. And upon realizing this, went through like a small crisis, like relatively recently, and by that I mean last night. I got my first cell phone at 13. I think it, as much freedom as it gives, it takes. I did not have a monitored cell phone. My parents were like, we trust you to be a person, okay? Don't do stupid things with it. Did I do stupid things with the cell phone and the internet? Absolutely. Did I do things that I'm like, I don't want anyone to know that happened. Totally. There was a lot of angsty song lyrics. You can watch my moods of development. I mean, I don't know any different, to be honest with you. I really don't. I do remember a time before Facebook and a time after Facebook. Got my Facebook in, I think, 2009. I was in the 9th grade. Easy to remember because the year and the grade always match up.
I was 32.
Really? You remember? Wait, you're not 32 now?
No.
Are you?
I'm 40.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
I had work.
Well, that explains a lot. You're drinking from Cher Chalice.
Yeah. No, it's just Noxzema. Little ponds.
I don't text and drive. I don't believe in it. I think it's stupid. If I want to kill someone, I'm going to do it personally. I'm going to look them in the eye. I don't want to do it because I was looking down. But I use Siri all the time. And I use Hey Siri because I like to be able to stand across the room and tell somebody that I'm thinking of them, and it just makes, like, I give her all those permissions because I'm like, Big Brother's already watching me. What am I going to do to stop it? Tell Google to not make my life easier? Well, no, thank you, Google. Just make my life easier because I know you have all this information anyway. Mom's right when she tells you to love yourself first, and you will learn how to. Ooh, I've been asked this question before. I have been told, what is it? Attack of the 80-foot lesbian octopus was pretty good, but I don't think that would be it.
Okay.
I think that's more of like a...
I don't know that tune. I just felt really old.
It's not a popular tune. I did recently watch a video that was a job interview with a millennial.
Uh-huh.
And the entire thing was satirical. And I think the person who sent it to me may have agreed with it, but agreeing with it was like watching Pride and Prejudice as a romance.
If you guys have anyone on your social media, like I do, that's over the age of 40, you've probably seen them post at some point about how much our generation sucks. Well, as a millennial, I took it upon myself to try to evaluate what's so wrong with our generation and why they're so mad at us. And then I pretty much realized that we're just existing. We're not really contributing anything to society. Our generation doesn't have the basic manners that include no ma'am.
Okay, she feels like she's just existing and she's not contributing to society.
And yes, ma'am. We don't even hold the door open for ladies, much less our elders anymore. We listen to...
Okay, I hold the door open for everybody, okay? I have literally stood at that door and just, like, held it open for 15 solid minutes waiting for a moment acceptable enough to walk away. And also, I hold the door open for men and women because equality. I don't know if
really obscene music that degrades women and pretty much glorifies drugs.
Have you
and
ever listened to a
crime.
hairband?
We start to cuss now to prove a point. We use words like
Not
they
new.
to describe someone we love. And we idolize people
Bo?
like Kim Kardashian, and then we shame people like
She's got
Tim
a
Tebow.
great ass.
We're lazy, we're really entitled, and we want to make a lot of money and have free education, but we're not really willing to put in the work. We spend more time online making friends and less time actually building relationships. And our relationships appearance on Facebook is more valuable than the foundation that it's actually built on. Our idea of standing up for something we believe in means going on Facebook and posting a status with your opinion. And we believe the number of followers we have reflects who we are as a person. We don't respect our elders.
Creating dialogue is a bad thing. And subliminally telling those people around you that you're actually afraid to engage in a real conflict with, subliminally telling them things that you think is like such a crazy and radical idea. Like, why would we ever subliminally tell our racist aunt that racism is bad? Why don't we just confront them with it? Why don't we just argue at the family dinner table? Like, not everybody's got that. I have a lot. Ooh, this is...
We don't even respect our country.
Oh, also, listen, I give everyone respect first, right? I'm like, this is it. You get a line, okay? You may have it, okay? But if you do something to lose it, you're not going to get it back just because you're older than me. You don't have to earn it, okay? Like, a lot of people think you have to earn respect. But, like, no, I give it to you. You are a person. You may have it. But do not expect to keep it just because you are older than me.
We're stepping on our flag instead of stepping up to volunteer. And
Okay,
we mock the men
Vietnam.
and women that are fighting for us, but we praise the people that are fighting each other, guys. We're more divided as a country than ever before. And I think our generation actually has a lot to do with that. Everything that used to be frowned upon is now celebrated. Nothing has value in our generation because we take advantage of everything.
Well, no, I agree that
We have
nothing
more
has value.
opportunities to succeed than any of those before us, yet we don't appreciate the opportunities we have now.
Wait, where are opportunities to succeed? I know that sounds morbid, but like, okay, they're there. Okay, I understand that they're there, right? But like, you've got like this much room for success and this much population, and the scale's just not. It's just the scale.
This is a math question.
Yeah, she did not go to math.
People call us Generation Y. Like, why are we so entitled? Because we don't deserve to be, and we were raised better than this. I think that our generation,
Obviously, we weren't, or we wouldn't have turned out this way.
what we're going to be remembered by. And I, for one, want to break that stereotype and prove that my parents raised me better. Don't you? To all of our elders, I'm sorry. And I do know that we were raised better. Thank you from this millennial for putting up with those and those who do not see wrong in their actions. I hope we start pulling our pants up and actually contributing to the society we love. And maybe make a difference in 2016 so that we can make a difference.
Can I stop?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what do you make of that story about how a number of college campuses are offering therapy dogs, hot cocoa, just so that the snowflake students are, they're really upset.
I could see the Christian Brothers doing this for me at Manhattan College, yeah.
If they didn't like the way the election came out.
Yeah, if I didn't like the way the election came out, they were going to give me therapy food. I think they'd give me something else. The reality is they're a bunch of spoiled crybabies.
I bet every single thing that has ever been said about our generation was said about the generation before us.
Totally.
And the one, like, none of this is new. Our music sucks. Your music sucked to your parents. I don't know if you know that, but like, it did. Your parents hated it. They didn't want anything to do with it. My kids, I'm gonna hate their music. I'm gonna want them to turn it off. I'm gonna think it's atrocious. I mean, like, none of that was even accurate. Okay, I love our flag. I love our country. My father served in the military for 22 years, and he left to go serve while I was a kid. I remember waiting for him to come home. I understand the sacrifice that goes into protecting our flag. But with that comes the right to protest. Right now, we can do better. We're not perfect right now.
It's false patriotism.
Yes. To blindly believe we are the best.
Yeah.
To blindly believe we have the ability to be the best is one thing. But blindly believing anything, actually, I don't really agree in. But believing that we have the ability to be the best is one thing. Blindly agreeing that we are is totally different. And millennials are entitled? I mean, have you ever seen a woman with a "Where's Your Manager" haircut? My coupon expired 2 weeks ago. Why won't you honor it?
That was 2 weeks ago.
That really happens. That's the crazy thing, is I've seen those things happen, and they're real.
This is America, and you get it right the first time. You get it right the first time. Get it right the first time. Get it right the first time, okay?
So, like, everyone is entitled because we're all self-centered and we all think that everything should go our way. And there's two kinds of people that are like, I get that I think that way, and so I'm gonna kind of like reel it in. And then there are people who just don't even know that they think that way, and they just are oblivious to the fact that the world does not revolve around them. Theirs does, but no one else's does.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. This was fun.
Awesome. Glad you had fun.
You're a hoot. It's just.
But that's the definition of insanity, to be like,
Oh yeah, banging your head against the wall when expecting a different result.
why is this president acting crazy and selfish? I'm like,
He's a magnification of all of the things that we ignore.
we conjured him like witches.
Yeah, basically.